Hey guys, welcome to Growing with the Passmores. I am Nicole, and in today's video, we are going to be going to Lowe's to get some supplies for my small business. I have an Etsy shop called Main and Saguaro, and I make custom wood signs, personalized gifts. I specialize in custom wood signs, but I have dabbled with some leather. I make keychains, personalized keychains. I make custom tip jars for coffee shops, and I love it. It is my creative outlet, and Bailey pushed me to do it, and I'm so glad she did. It brings me a lot of joy. So when we made this channel, we talked about each one of us kind of having our own part in it. So today you're going to be hanging out with me and watching me get some stuff for the shop, and eventually you'll see Dan do hunting stuff, build stuff. He's pretty handy. We're just going to take you guys along for our ride. It's not just about growing in the garden, but growing in life as well. So that's what we're going to do. Right now we are getting ready to drop off one of my packages. I need to put some pictures in here so you guys can see some of the things that I have made. I also have an Instagram, Main and Saguaro. I can link all of that down below if you guys want to check out the shop. Let's go into UPS. All right, so we got that sign dropped off at UPS, and now we are making another very, very important stop. Starbucks! I always get the strawberry acai with no scoop of strawberries. I do not like how they get stuck in the mouthpiece. Ugh, gross. So we're going to get that, and then we're going to head over to Lowe's. Here we are, pulling up to Lowe's now. I'm going to go in and get some wood, get some more stain, some more paint, a roller, sponges, and what else? Oh, and some more packing paper. I need that too. Actually, it's not even packing paper. I forget what it's called, but I wrap my signs to ship them in there. So here we go. Let's go into Lowe's.
Boy, everybody told me you could be whatever you wanna be. So I told myself I'ma be a singer, I'ma play on the keys. I can do whatever I want if I just believe, yeah. But then over the years, everybody's telling me to find a career, huh.
All right, so we just got out of Lowe's. I got some project wood, some trim boards, some paint, some stain, some new roller pads, and now let's go build some good stuff. So right here I am laying out my vinyl onto my mat. I use Oracle 651 vinyl. I get it from Signs Warehouse, and I am using Cricut Design Space on my laptop to get the design kind of lined up the way I want it. This hunting sign is going to Louisiana, so I'm getting a Louisiana state outline on here now, and we're going to open up the old Faithful. This Cricut I have had for many years. I think this is the best Cricut. I have the Cricut Maker 3 as well that can cut wood and leather and all sorts of stuff. But when I do any type of vinyl work, I always end up coming back to my Explorer. I think it just cuts intricate cuts a little bit better. It's not so abrasive. I do feel like I know I was being stubborn and I wanted to figure out. Okay, so like I was saying, I do think the Cricut Maker 3 is just a little too abrasive and a little too quick for cutting vinyl when you're doing something small and intricate. So I always use my Explorer Air too. That's just my favorite one for vinyl. Okay, so the wood has had time to cure for a good 24 hours after I stained it. So when that was fully dry, I put on the vinyl stencil and went over it with some oil-based paint. I do use oil-based stain, so I have messed up many, many times and have had letters lift, and I've had runs and bleed throughs and all sorts of things. So it's definitely been a lot of trial and error. But I think with the help of my husband and just some minor adjustments, just using all the same type of products, so oil-based stain and paint, I do think that that helps. So this paint is really good. I will link it below so you can try it if you ever want to make your own wood sign. So this is a couple days later, and I'm actually working on another one of these signs, and this is just the process of seeing it when I first lay down the stencil. I don't pick out all the letters. I just lay it all on the board at once, and then once it's on there, then I remove the letters and paint over the top. So that's what I'm doing right now. It is a very tedious job sometimes, but it's relaxing and I enjoy it. So we're just gonna pick away at this sign. Okay, so now we are getting ready to paint. I lined the stencil with some painter's tape so I don't get any extra paint on the face of the sign, which I've done many times. And I have also noticed that foam rollers are the best rollers for this. They just have a better application and you don't get any little fibers or hairs or anything in the words from, the roller. Right here, I am just making sure I removed everything that I needed to. You always want to double check that because if you don't remove something that you need to, like a full letter, I've done that in the past and it has completely messed up the whole sign and I've had to start over. So you have to really pay attention to the small details because in the end, that's what matters most. So I'm going over this. I normally go over this a couple times. I'll do one coat, let it dry, and I try and thin it out as much as I can. You don't want real, thick letters because then it just, for one, it takes longer to dry, and for two, it just doesn't look great. So I try and go in with a pretty light layer and, like I said, let it dry and then add another one and let it sit and then peel. So we're just going to keep painting. All right, guys, we're still learning here, okay, with videoing and the editing, all of it. And these videos are probably a little out of place in order. And this sign is, you guys saw me painting white. I had two orders that I was doing, so I didn't get all the footage of doing the white one, but bits and pieces of doing both. So that's what I'm just adding in here right now. He helps me with all of the frames and cutting all the wood pieces and doing all the things that I am still a little intimidated to do. I can use some tools, but not all. So he is making some cuts for me here. And we like to do 45s on all the frames. We just think it looks nicer and more complete and kind of brings it all together. So he's just measuring out all of these frame pieces right now, and then I still have some touch-ups to do, like stain the edges and like that. So most likely we'll get it kind of, laid out, see how we like it, and then we'll pick back up tomorrow putting it together, or in this case the next day. The sign has already been shipped off. But yeah, so we're just doing some measurements, cuts, and then we'll be back to probably me packaging it and getting it ready to send out. All right, so the sign is framed and almost ready to go. Right now I'm just touching up some little spots, parts of the frame that got a little scuffed up when we were nailing it to the board. That happens sometimes, but you can totally go in and just fix it with a little tiny brush with some stain and rub it off, and it turns out it's fine. So I'm just double checking here. This is my favorite part of the whole process, is putting my name brand stamp on it. I'm just double checking, making sure I don't put it on upside down. That is a huge fear of mine. And we're looking good. So here we go. Oh, that's so satisfying, having your brand on a stamp back of a cool sign that goes all over the United States. It feels good. I never would have started my Etsy shop if it wasn't for my daughter Bailey. She is 12 and she pushed me to open this shop. She said, "Mom, you make some of the cutest stuff. You can do it. Just post something." So I did, and I highly encourage any of you who are wanting to start a small business of any sort to just jump in and do it. Take that leap, because it's so worth it. It's rewarding. I didn't think I was ever going to sell anything. And my shop is not big by any means, but when I get on there and I see that 160 some people have bought my things that they wanted to have in their home or in their own business or wherever as a gift for somebody, it is so rewarding. And I think everybody who has that dream of starting their own thing should just go for it. You never know what's going to come out of it. So with that being said, to my sweet daughter Bailey, I love you so much. Thank you for pushing me to follow my dreams. You are my bestest buddy in the whole entire world. And for all of you, if you think that you don't have anybody that supports you or believes in you, we do. And if I can do it, you can do it. Just if you're putting your heart into it, it's going to go somewhere. So it doesn't have to be this huge business overnight. You know, things take time, and we're just here growing. So right now I am just tying this little tag on with some twine, and then I will get this packaged up. I wrap my signs with bubble wrap and then a packing paper, and then that's pretty much it. We're probably going to wrap this video up after this. So thank you guys for following along with me while we went and got some supplies and just kind of watched the process. Even though it was in bits and pieces, you kind of got to see a behind the scenes of in Saguaro. So stay tuned for more videos like this. And like I said, from Dan, he'll have some too. Bailey, she would love to have some of her videos on here. She does little get ready with me's and videos like that. Super cute. So we will see you guys in the next video.